What's going on, everybody? Sivo here. Welcome back to the newest episode of Madden 20 Flashback Pink Slips. And we are just getting right into it. We are here for our selection, pick 14 in the 2004 NFL Draft. First, before we decide who we're going to make the pick, which I used your guys as suggestions, the biggest question was, how do we handle undrafted players? There's some very nice undrafted players that we have seen. We got Willie Parker, Wes Welker, Jason Peters. We have decided, and I think it's the best idea, that originally the rule was like, should we have to pick a UDFA that's really good? We have to use our first round selection. Or can we select them just in the 7th round because they're supposed to go UDFA? The top community suggestion that I think makes the most sense is I have to draft them at the round that they're available. Like if I want Jason Peters, which I really do, and if this was up to me, I probably would have picked them. I'd have to use a first-round pick on it. If I want Wes Welker, I have to use a third-round pick. If I want Willie Parker, the former speedster of the Pittsburgh Steelers, I have to draft him in the 4th round. I think that is the best way of handling how we draft the UDFA players, which comes right into who are we drafting? We are sitting here, and there was really 4 big players that were up for grabs. I mean, Phillip Rivers is there, but it was Eli Manning, who went first overall in this actual draft, and his skills look really good. Now, the downside is I don't like Eli Manning. Ben Roethlisberger, who is another, obviously these quarterbacks shaped NFL from forever as we know it, from this 04 draft, really up to right now in the present, 2020, 2021. So, I like Ben Roethlisberger. I have a big Ben Roethlisberger jersey. However, maybe we don't go quarterback. And then we also talked about Vince Wilfork, who is who we drafted the last time we did a flashback series. We also had at safety Bob Sanders, who when healthy was literally maybe as important to the Indianapolis Colts as probably anyone not named Peyton Manning. Or we go on the offensive line with the new rule that we have established. And if I want to select a guy like Jason Peters, who can pretty much be a franchise tackle for the next 15 years, I'll have to use a first-round selection. However, the question is Ryan Leaf. Is Ryan Leaf cutting it or not? I think he is, but we have foresight to work to our advantage right now. And our foresight is Ryan Leaf going to be our quarterback for the next 6 years? 5-6 years. Because it's going to be 5-6 years until we're really going to have an opportunity to pick a quarterback really of the level of any 3 of these guys. And the answer is probably not. Like, in the very first flashback series, we took, I can't even remember what we did. We had Romo, right? And Romo was okay, and I didn't really like it. And then eventually we got Vince Young. And then we had Vince Young until the series died. The quarterbacks get pretty weak. Like, I looked, you're not going to get a great quarterback class, an interesting quarterback class, till like 08. That's like when you get like Matt Ryan and those guys, 09, so we start getting Staffords. So I think it is better, given what we're going to be dealing with the drafts coming up for the next couple of years. I don't think Ryan Leaf has played bad enough to be replaced. However, he's not the future. So, when it comes down to it, it's really Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning. The stats look to be slightly trending in the way of Eli Manning. They're both scheme fits. There's nothing wrong with that. I like Big Ben, and that's why it's a problem. I like Ben Roethlisberger, and if he starts playing bad, I'm going to probably have issues. I'm probably going to stick with him longer than I need to be. If I play bad with him, I'm going to be like, well, it's been Ben Roethlisberger. We know how good he is. We're going to get it going. We're going to turn the ship around. That's an issue, man. Being biased to a certain player, not being able to make the right decision that's the benefit of the team is not a good thing. However, I do not like Eli Manning. As an Eagle fan, he never really did anything bad to the Eagles. He never talked smack to the Eagles. He never really beat the Eagles, to be honest with you. But I just, he's just always been kind of bland. However, there's 2 things going for Eli Manning. Number 1 is I don't like him. I have no ties to Eli Manning. So if we're 3-4 years down the road, he's playing average, he's not living up to his contract, we're probably not going to pick up his 5th-year option. It's not going to be the same ties as like, well, I like Big Ben, maybe we can turn around Big Ben. If a point comes that I need to move on from my quarterback, I am 10 times more likely to make the proper decision if it's Eli Manning under center than it is Ben Roethlisberger. Number 2, the Indianapolis Colts are in our division. This is a mind trap. Drafting Eli Manning from, it's got to be Eli versus Peyton within the division. Now, do I hate that storyline? A little bit, but does that storyline make the most sense in this scenario for what we're trying to establish? Absolutely. So, with pick 14 in the 2004 draft, the consensus #1 overall pick, who already said he will not play for the Chargers, straight up refusing to play for the Chargers, that has hurt his draft stock, so he is here for 14. He is excited at a potential opportunity to come and play in the great state of Houston, the Houston Oilers, team that his father, Archie Manning, would have gone up against. Eli Manning is our selection. Number 11 in true talent. I don't think Eli Manning has ever flexed his muscles like that in real life. And we got him at pick 14. 73 hidden dev, strong arm quarterback, 93 throw power, 84 mid, 85 short. Pretty good throw under pressure. So here we go, man. I honestly had zero idea this was going to be my pick. You could have asked me, C4, put up Venmo $15. Who are you going to select at pick 14 after letting the comments kind of decide what direction we're going? 0%. I would have thought Eli. But the more you laid it all on the table, the more I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. Eli Manning, new quarterback, Houston Oilers. With our pick in the second round, there's not a lot of talent there. We have to pick within the second round. Phillip Rivers is still there. We could just draft ourselves into a quarterback controversy. But I will honestly tell you, I think I hate Phillip Rivers more than I hate Eli Manning. This guy just looks like the biggest asshole. One of the worst teammates. There's Ricardo Coughlin. I'm not going to lie, no idea who that is. I don't even know if that's a real player, to be completely honest with you. However, there's a very nice selection here in the second round. Darnell Dockett out of Florida State, projected late second rounder, but he's a mid-first round talent. We could always be looking to add more beef to the interior of that defensive line. He is a scheme fit. So unless there was a UDFA, I'm going to go double check this second. Unless there's a UDFA that had a second round grade that could make this more interesting, Dockett's going to be the selection. No one really there. We start getting third round, fourth rounds when we start looking at some UDFA. So we're going to make the selection of Darnell Dockett here at pick 2. 72 overall, hidden dev, 13 in true talent. We got him at pick 46. 88 strength. Pretty good power move. Hit power looks good. He's a solid D tackle. Nice little compliment to what we have in Albert Hainsworth. Albert Hainsworth, the mauler, the eater of worlds, and a guy like Darnell Dockett, great fit to play right alongside of him. So for the third round, again, how this works is for anyone that's not a UDFA, we have to draft that they're in that round, or they're still like available. Like they're still like JP Losman, the first rounder at Tulane. So Ben Harstock's the only guy in the third round that we actually have a third round grade. He's blocking tight end, not a scheme fit. Man, I hope Jared Allen's still there in the fourth round. That's my pick. If I could find a way to pick it would be Jared Allen right here. But let's look at UDFA's third round grade. So we have Tyson Clabo, Wes Welker. I mean, this could be the time we get Wes Welker. I think it has to be. Even though we have slot wide receiver Daquan Bolden. You got to remember, we're now at risk of losing players. So having more depth at that position makes the most sense. So at pick 3 for the Oilers, we're going to select Wes Welker, wide receiver out of Texas Tech, pure slot, 65 overall, but he does have that hidden dev, which is going to be huge and key for his development. Again, this is what I'm trying to get you guys to expect for. Like, I bet Jason Peters, even though he had a first-round grade, he's probably was like a 70 overall, but he would have like a superstar dev. That's how they compensate with these retro flashback rosters. Okay, fourth round is here. Again, it's just not looking good whatsoever for anyone. We lost an opportunity to get Jared Allen. So we're pretty much looking down here at UDFA's. Clabo's a third round grade tackle, but we can't get him. So really, fourth round, we can get Mike Adams at strong safety. I mean, he had a super long, I think he just retired. Ryan Lilja, guard from Colorado. We can get Scott Wells, Jabari Greer. I think Jabari Greer here in Canada, he does like the post-game NFL on TSN, which is like Canada's ESPN. He is awful. Like, it gives me hope that I could probably do that job if they really wanted to. But for this scenario in the fourth round, I think I'm getting Willie Parker. I'm going to bring in the speedster out of North Carolina. 64 hit, and obviously the depth traits are always going to be pretty good. But this guy, home run hitter. Absolute home run hitter. We don't know what the future holds for Ricky Waters, sorry. Rest in peace, Andre Waters. But Willie Parker could be the future. Could very well be the future of this backfield. I mean, he was one of those guys, too. That was like right when I was getting into football, and I kind of like the Eagles. Also kind of like the Steelers. And, man, Willie Parker, home run hitter. So, for the fifth round, it's None of these, like, this is where it's going to get weird. I was like already starting to think that, you know, oh my God, like even doing this for the UDFAs, getting them in the rounds. We know we're probably going to get a bunch of guys with dev traits for the most part, but I still think it's the fairest way to do it, and we're not going to get overpowered plays. Like I said, if we're doing any other rule, I would already have right at this point like Jason Peters, Jared Allen, all those guys. My team would be jacked to the gills. We got some guys with good dev traits, but we're going to have to actually do the damn thing and develop them. So we're sitting here in the 5th round. There's a couple linebackers here. I mean, looking at our roster, we could definitely use a guard. We could use a tackle just to fill that out. On the defensive side, maybe an extra linebacker or two. But looking here in the 5th round, we do have a 5th round grade on George Wilson, the free safety. I know we played the Bills. We have Malcolm Floyd at wide receiver. We don't really need wideouts, but he probably looks like the best selection at this point. Even though we have 12, I mean, we could just thin the herd here. I mean, all the skills look great. At 6'5", 449 speed, we're going to select Malcolm Floyd. 63, hidden dev. Again, the dev traits, we're getting a lot of dev traits, but the ratings are fairly appropriate, and we're going to have to put in the work. Like, Malcolm Floyd's just not magically going to become a beast. He's got to find a way into our starting lineup and really take a next level in growth and development, which might not happen. He might never, ever reach his potential on our team because he's going to be buried on our depth chart. In the 6th round, the only UDFA we could potentially select is Brock Lesnar. I'm not going to lie, I kind of want Brock Lesnar. He's probably not going to make our roster, and I think I'll make that my 7th and final pick. So here we go. We're just here in the 6th round, and these are the players that we have at our disposal. There's some special teamers, but we like our kicker. I mean, we could always be open at punter. And I mean, we got Andy Lee's a 1st round grade punter. I mean, that might be as easy a selection as you can make. Add some competition to the punter spot. Andy Lee comes in, 74 hidden dev. He's number 7 in true talent in this draft. Sure, why not? In the 7th round, I mean, we could go Jeremy Kane, who's actually a UDFA. That's a scheme fit, but I want Brock Lesnar. So we're gonna draft Brock Lesnar. I don't know. He's gotta be awful. Like, he never played football in his life, but we have Brock Lesnar on our football team now. Why not? So here's the recap from our draft, just in case you have a short-term memory loss. We got Eli Manning at pick 1. Gotta be just real interesting. We're gonna fix this number. We'll give him back number 10. It's gonna be real interesting to see how he grows and develops. We got Darnell Dockett in the 2nd round. Do we have anyone that didn't have a dev trade outside of Brock Lesnar? We got Wes Welker in the 3rd round. 4th round, Willie Parker. 5th round, Malcolm Floyd. 6th round, Andy Lee. 7th round, Brock Lesnar. Now, literally the only negative you can see about this, because this is like a regular draft, like overalls anyways, that's like a regular. I'm good at drafting. I would like to think I'm up there as the best drafters in this game that make content. However, you could argue that the dev traits, there's maybe a couple dev traits too many. I can't predict. I don't know. I've never worked on these rosters, but you can almost surmise now that if you've heard of the player as a UDFA or whatever, they're going to have a dev trait. So, I don't know. Again, just take it in. How do you guys feel? With this draft being complete, how do you guys feel? Are you excited to see what Eli Manning can do? Are you excited to see me have to cheer for Eli Manning? Or are you left thinking, those are a lot of great draft traits. This team's going to be very overpowered in like a year or two if he does this every single draft. Let me know what you guys are feeling. I'm sure we can continue to tweak it and find a middle ground somewheres. Maybe limit the amount of UDFAs we can select. I don't really know how you would determine how many of these guys we can draft. Maybe you just say we can only get 1 in a single season or 2. I don't know yet. But I feel like we're getting close. We are very, very close. We're finding the money zone of how we should handle the flashback pink slips drafts. But this is it, 2004, and our team's looking really, really damn good. So we are going to hop out of this. We're going to get a couple preseason games. Probably only 2. Because, I don't know. I don't know how many preseason games we're going to play. I don't want to put a number on it. But here's our draft. And I feel excited about the future of the Houston Oilers here as we get ready for the 04-05 season. Before we get to the preseason, we actually have some housekeeping. I am a YouTuber that will admit when they make a mistake. And in the final episode of Pink Slips, we beat the Denver Broncos. For whatever reason, I thought the Denver Broncos were in our division, and I gave it a 4-star performance versus a 3-star performance, where we won Calvin Pace and Delta O'Neal. So if we were going to recalculate it, we wouldn't be able to acquire Calvin Pace. So we're going to kind of like right or wrong here, and we're going to send him back. The guy who had 10 sacks as a rookie. This is a painful adjustment. But we're going to send him back to the Denver Broncos. We'll just take a 7th round pick. I suppose, if they'll take that. There we go. So that's one thing. But to make it seem like we're not just going to disadvantage the team, everyone wants me to fix James Harrison's strength. I wasn't even paying attention to it when we got him. But once we actually got to really get into his stats, there is no way James Harrison, even at this point in the infancy of his career, should have anything less than 85 strength. So let's see. He's starting here as an 82 overall. We're going to give him 85. 85 strength. He goes up 1 point from a speed rusher to an 83. I think that's fair. I mean, he's one of the most powerful players in NFL history. So we're going to make that little adjustment. So it's not all bad news, but no more Calvin Pace, which is, a talented defender that we have lost. So we are now looking at the scope of preseason. I feel like I don't know. I feel like the draft is enough excitement because, it's like one of those things I'm thinking in my head. I probably want to try and have some fun with Brock Lesnar, for example, guys like that. And I'm not going to do that if we just get through the preseason right now, because obviously the big news is the draft in our new franchise quarterback. So I think at this point, here's what we're going to do. We're going to hop in. We're going to play this first preseason game, get some highlights. We'll just play a little bit of offense, right? And then the next episode will be preseason game 2, 3, 4, and the regular season opener, because it'll compensate for that bye week that we have during the regular season. I mean, we do 4 episodes, right? 4 games per episode. It'll compensate just for that bye week a little bit. I mean, we're going to be no further ahead or away because it's 17 weeks technically, and if we're breaking it up into 4s, you always got to kind of have that odd man out. So this week, we're just going to focus on the offense. This first preseason game against the New York Jets, nothing to really play for, given the fact that we're 76. We're not going to be able to win players. We're not going to be able to lose players. It's just the preseason. Let's see what Eli Manning looks like under center for the Houston Oilers. Okay, this is worth addressing right at the beginning of the game. We get Eli Manning there. We're going to fix the number stuff. Willie Parker. We got to pour one out. There's no other way to put it. Can we just pour one out? Look at our player stats. Oh, it's not even there. We look at our depth chart. I'm just so distraught. We re-signed him. He was there at the beginning of the offseason. It's not there for some reason. How do I get my depth chart? Let's get to my depth chart. I'm distraught. Ricky Watters retired. He retired late. He was there as we entered the offseason. Like the first wave of retirements. And now he's gone. Now he's gone. He was so good, Ricky. I miss you, boy. I'll miss you. Maybe put in that Ricky bit from Pets. Like the snake, when the snake dies. Or the duck. All right, good speed there from Willie Parker. Obviously, that 96 speed, he's going to have to be a game changer. Massive shoes to fill. Oh. All right, it's preseason. We can do as much pig's cheese as we'd like. Deep ball, Eli Manning to Jabbar Gaffney. That is his first career NFL pass. I mean, man, he got big shoes to fill. He knows Peyton. He's playing Peyton twice a year. He knows he's always going to be compared to his bigger brother. This is how you make a name for yourself. This is how you separate yourself. You make a dominant debut statement game like this, preseason or not. Oh, we got Willie Parker. Oh my God, all rookie? Can I please go check the difficulty? This feels like I'm doing an experiment on all rookie. Okay, so what we know is Willie Parker with his 96 speed out the backfield, anything with him is almost going to near Slant's cheese levels. Come on, Ryan. This is your chance, Ryan Leaf. You are our starter. You have a chance to delay the inevitable for a couple weeks if you have a dominant preseason. You're looking like horse shit right now, bud. Ryan Leaf drop back. We got TJ Houshmandzadeh at the top of the screen. Not a great pass. If it was a little bit closer to it, he might not have had to fall down to make that grab. That could have been a touchdown. But we're still in a goal-to-go situation. 3rd and goal. Can Willie Parker get the hat trick in his debut game, fill in the shoes of Ricky Watters? We're so sad. It's still depressed around the building, but Willie Parker, 3rd touchdown of the game. Wes Welker in for his first snap of the game. He's at the top of the screen on a slant. That's pretty much how he makes his money. And I don't know, maybe we need to give him that 18XL helmet for him to live up to his potential. Oh, yeah, he's a cheat code. Oh, no, he has like 250 some yards of offense. I feel like we're gonna have a lot of 5-star performances. We're gonna end up playing a lot of all Madden this year. All right, and that's the preseason. When you see Willie Parker's stat line, you're gonna be very confused whether we're going to have to raise the difficulty or not, because it might have been one of the greatest running back performances of all time, and it doesn't count statistically because it's just the preseason. It doesn't count for pink slips because it's just the preseason, but we can admire it nonetheless. So in Eli Manning's first start, 4 of 6, 200 yards, 3 of his 4 completions were touchdowns. Ryan Leaf came in, actually played fairly well as well. So Willie Parker on 19 carries, 200 yards, 3 he did have a fumble. He did have a fumble, but 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then he also had 3 catches for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's like a Jamal Charles game. He had 375 yards from scrimmage and 5 total touchdowns. Kate, 7 catches for 104 for Hujmanzada. We had a 63-yard bomb to Jabbar Gaffney. Defensively, Mike Peterson becoming a tackle machine, 12 tackles. We had a couple sacks there. Pick for Mike Eccles, just a depth guy. But it's a dominant victory. That's gonna make it, question the rest of the preseason. Question the level of difficulty. Or let's try and comprehend just how freaky of a running back we now have in Willie Parker. So that will wrap up this episode here of Flashback Pinks. We'll be back next time to finish out the preseason, get some more depth guys involved, and then round up with the season opener on the road against the LA Rams. So I hope you guys did enjoy the draft. Give me more feedback again as we continue to tweak and tune the draft process here in Flashback Pinks. But if it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.
Money I'm spending, I'm out and I'm shopping. You talking that shit, well you talking and talking. Look at my options, look at me dropping. Ass in the game, like who are you stopping? Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. I'm way too clever. Look at the kid, Mr. Consistent, I'm doing it big. Way too persistent on taking your bitch. Here comes a monster to scare all you kids. Y'all scared, what you running from? Y'all